A sudden legal twist involving former President Donald Trump has just sent shockwaves through Washington, and the White House has responded faster than anyone expected. In the early hours, sources confirmed that a filing from Trump's legal team has triggered urgent internal discussions, leaving key officials scrambling to assess the implications. This is not a routine update. The scale and timing of this filing suggests high-stakes maneuvering behind closed doors, and insiders are already warning that it could have major political repercussions. For months, legal analysts have predicted that Trump's ongoing battles could take unexpected turns. But the speed and content of this latest move have taken even seasoned Washington observers by surprise. The filing purportedly addresses issues that have been simmering quietly, matters that could influence both the ongoing investigations and the broader political landscape. It appears that Trump's legal team is executing a strategy designed to force reactions from multiple parties simultaneously, and the White House response indicates they are taking it very seriously. Sources inside the administration say that key aides and legal advisors were summoned urgently this morning, with multiple briefings being held behind closed doors. Security and communication channels are operating at maximum alert, suggesting that officials are attempting to fully understand the potential fallout before it hits public awareness. This is exactly the kind of hyper-sure environment that creates uncertainty, and uncertainty is a key element in how these developments are unfolding. Trump's filing comes at a moment when political tensions are already high, with midterm elections, shifting alliances, and ongoing investigations in play. Any sudden legal development carries the potential to dramatically shift public perception and political strategy. Analysts are now dissecting the filing line by line, attempting to predict the next moves. The document is said to be strategically crafted, with language and timing intended to provoke responses from both the judiciary and the Biden administration. Officials are reportedly coordinating closely with legal teams to evaluate immediate risks. Some experts believe this could force the White House to adjust communications strategy, while others suggest it may prompt internal political maneuvering to contain potential fallout. The situation is fluid, and the urgency in briefings suggests that decisions being made now could have cascading effects over the coming days. In addition to political ramifications, the filing raises questions about procedural and legal interpretations. Certain clauses in the motion appear to challenge precedent or invoke previously unused legal avenues, which could set the stage for extended deliberations or rapid countermoves. The complexity of the filing means that multiple parties are working simultaneously to assess its implications, from the White House legal counsel to outside advisors, monitoring the situation closely. The reaction on Capitol Hill has been immediate, but measured. Lawmakers are expressing concern and curiosity, though many are withholding public comment until more details are clarified. Behind the scenes, sources indicate that party leadership is actively strategizing, weighing the potential impacts on policy, public perception, and upcoming electoral considerations. The speed at which information is moving underscores the high-stakes nature of this legal development. Media outlets are beginning to pick up fragments of information, but coverage remains cautious. Many are waiting for official statements, though. Insiders suggest that leaks and unofficial interpretations will inevitably shape the narrative before the full legal implications are understood. Observers note that this pattern, rapid legal maneuvering, followed by staggered public disclosure, has historically been a tactic to control narrative, while exerting pressure on multiple stakeholders. This filing also has implications beyond Washington. Political operatives, think tanks, and media analysts nationwide are watching closely, attempting to gauge how Trump's strategy might affect broader public opinion. Some see this as a calculated risk to force concessions or clarity from the judiciary, while others believe it could be an attempt to shift the political dialogue in Trump's favor ahead of upcoming events. White House sources emphasize that all options are being reviewed. Contingency plans, messaging strategies, and coordination across departments are reportedly underway, indicating the administration recognizes the potential gravity of the situation. The combination of legal nuance, political pressure, and public attention makes this one of the most delicate situations in recent months. For the public, the key takeaway is that what appears to be a procedural filing is anything but ordinary. Behind the legal jargon lies a strategy that could reshape narratives, influence investigations, and alter political calculations at the highest levels. Analysts agree that the next 48 hours will be critical in understanding the true impact, and every move by both Trump's team and the White House will be scrutinized intensely. Observers are urging caution, emphasizing that while headlines will simplify the story, The actual dynamics involve layers of strategy, legal interpretation, and political maneuvering. This is why monitoring developments in real time is essential for anyone attempting to understand the broader picture. The White House response signals that they are aware of the stakes. Actions being taken now, from internal briefings to strategic messaging, suggest that officials are attempting to anticipate and manage fallout before it escalates. The urgency is palpable, and sources describe the environment as one of heightened tension. With multiple teams working around the clock, analysts are particularly focused on the legal arguments presented in the filing. Certain sections are being interpreted as a direct challenge to prior rulings, while others are seen as setting conditions for negotiation or response. The combination of aggressive legal strategy and timing means that both the courts and political actors are now on alert, preparing for rapid developments. Political consultants are already weighing scenarios. If the filing succeeds in its intended effect, it could realign perceptions among key voter groups and political influencers. Conversely, missteps or misinterpretations could produce backlash or legal complications. The narrow window for effective response increases pressure on all parties involved, making this an event to watch closely. Experts also highlight the timing relative to broader national issues, with legislation, policy debates, and ongoing investigations concurrently unfolding. This filing intersects with multiple arenas simultaneously. That overlap magnifies attention and complicates response strategies, reinforcing why the White House is acting swiftly. In summary, this sudden legal twist is far more than a headline. It represents strategic action, carefully timed and executed, with the potential to ripple across legal, political, and public spheres. The next few days will reveal how both Trump's team and the White House navigate these developments, and whether the intended impact achieves the desired result or triggers unforeseen consequences. As this legal twist unfolds, the White House is reportedly moving quickly to assess not only the immediate legal ramifications but also the broader political consequences. Multiple sources inside the administration have confirmed that meetings were convened at an accelerated pace, with top advisors coordinating legal, political, and communication strategies simultaneously. The filing is not just procedural, it is strategic, and its timing has thrown key officials into urgent deliberation. Analysts point out that this sudden move has forced the administration to reevaluate messaging across multiple fronts. Press offices are reportedly drafting contingency statements, anticipating both domestic and international attention. Political strategists warn that any misstep could escalate rapidly, especially given the heightened scrutiny of Trump's legal team and the unpredictable nature of media coverage surrounding these developments. The filing appears designed to put pressure on several parties at once. Legal experts note that specific clauses challenge prior interpretations while simultaneously opening potential avenues for negotiation. This dual approach suggests Trump's team is seeking both a tactical advantage in court and leverage over political actors, potentially influencing public perception. Sources familiar with the filing say the language was carefully chosen to provoke responses without violating procedural norms. A delicate balance aimed at maximizing impact while minimizing immediate legal risk. On Capitol Hill, lawmakers are closely monitoring the situation. Early reactions from congressional offices indicate a mix of concern, calculation, and caution. Party leadership on both sides is reportedly conducting internal assessments to determine potential political exposure and anticipate constituent reactions. While public statements are scarce, insiders describe a flurry of behind-the-scenes communication, highlighting the gravity and sensitivity of the filing. White House legal teams are said to be analyzing potential ramifications across multiple cases, including ongoing investigations that intersect with Trump's legal matters. Coordinated strategies are reportedly being drafted to respond swiftly to court developments while maintaining political stability. Sources indicate that the administration is weighing both proactive and reactive options, from legal countermeasures to strategic public messaging, in order to control narrative and mitigate risk. Meanwhile, the media landscape is responding rapidly. Although official statements remain limited, analysts predict that leaks, unofficial commentary, and early reporting will shape public perception well before formal updates are issued. Experts warn that in this environment, misinformation and speculation could spread quickly, amplifying the sense of urgency and uncertainty surrounding the filing. The speed of this development has also created a hypershare environment for the judiciary. Judges, clerks, and staff are reportedly working under unusual time constraints, evaluating the motions, implications, and legal commentators emphasize that while courts operate within defined procedures, unexpected filings like this one can compress timelines and force rapid interpretation, further intensifying the overall tension. Political operatives are now strategizing potential outcomes. Scenario planning is underway to anticipate reactions from opposition parties, media narratives, and public opinion. The consensus among insiders is that timing is critical both in terms of immediate responses and in managing long-term implications for policy, governance, and electoral considerations. Every communication, briefing, and statement is being scrutinized for its potential ripple effects. Legal analysts also point out that this filing could set precedent or test boundaries in ways that have not been seen in prior cases. Section reportedly addressed nuanced procedural issues, which could have far-reaching consequences depending on interpretation. Experts caution that even subtle language in such motions can create leverage, influence court behavior, and alter the political landscape significantly. At the same time, White House officials are considering the impact on national perception. The administration recognizes that public reaction will be shaped not just by the filing itself, but by how quickly and effectively they respond. Messaging strategies are reportedly being refined to project control and competence, aiming to prevent panic or misinterpretation while subtly signaling authority and preparedness. Observers note that the filing's timing aligns with broader national events, which could magnify its visibility and effect. With legislative initiatives, public policy debates, and ongoing media coverage coinciding, the filing creates a convergence of attention, ensuring it cannot be ignored. Analysts argue that the coordination of timing is likely intentional, designed to maximize leverage while keeping stakeholders on edge. Some experts warn that the filing's implications extend beyond immediate legal outcomes. It could influence political dynamics, shape narratives for upcoming elections, and affect strategic decision-making within both parties. Advisors are reportedly modeling multiple contingencies to understand how shifts in perception could alter decision-making and influence voter behavior. The interplay between legal maneuvering and political calculation is central to understanding why this development has triggered such rapid response from the White House. Meanwhile, the public narrative is beginning to take shape, but much remains uncertain. Social media and news outlets are dissecting fragments of information, filling speculation and heightening scrutiny. Analysts caution that early interpretations are often incomplete or misleading, and that the full implications will only become clear as more details emerge. In this environment, vigilance and careful observation are essential for those tracking the story. In short, this is a high-stakes, multi-layered situation. The White House is simultaneously navigating legal complexity, political calculation, and media strategy, all under intense time pressure. The filing is both a legal maneuver and a political signal, designed to test boundaries, influence stakeholders, and shape the narrative before it fully unfolds. The next section of this report will examine likely scenarios over the coming days, detailing how the filing could impact key players, what strategic moves may follow, and how both Trump's team and the administration may react to shifts in public attention and judicial interpretation. The unfolding events promise to be both rapid and consequential, underscoring why attention to detail and timing will be critical in understanding the full impact of this legal development. As the story continues to unfold, the White House is now moving into crisis management mode. Sources confirm that top officials are coordinating across multiple departments to evaluate the short-term and long-term implications of Trump's filing. Every statement, every briefing, and every internal memo is being carefully crafted to avoid missteps while maintaining a perception of control. The situation is fluid, with new details emerging almost hourly, and the administration is racing to keep pace. And observers note that the filing's timing could not be more consequential. With midterm elections approaching and public scrutiny at an all-time high, the stakes extend far beyond legal arguments. Political operatives are monitoring how this development could shift narratives, influence voter sentiment, and force strategic recalibrations among key actors. Early reactions suggest that party leadership is already revising messaging strategies to respond to potential public perception shifts. while simultaneously evaluating how best to mitigate risk in ongoing investigations and court proceedings. Legal analysts emphasize that the document itself is unusually strategic. Certain provisions appear designed to provoke specific reactions from the courts, while others create room for negotiation or leverage in political arenas. This dual approach ensures that the filing has maximum impact, forcing multiple parties to react simultaneously while keeping Trump's team in a position of advantage. Experts describe this as a high-stakes chess game, with moves calculated not just for the courtroom, but for broader influence and timing. The impact on media coverage has been immediate. Outlets across the nation are racing to interpret the filing, often with limited access to full details. Analysts warn that partial reporting and speculation will dominate narratives initially, creating a high-pressure environment for officials tasked with controlling messaging. Leaks, expert commentary, and social media speculation are all converging, amplifying the sense of urgency and ensuring that public attention will be intense. Capitol Hill is responding cautiously but decisively. Lawmakers are monitoring the filing closely, holding emergency consultations, and preparing statements to address constituents while avoiding premature conclusions. Party leadership is actively strategizing, weighing the filing's potential effects on policy, public perception, and future elections. Advisors emphasize that timing is critical. Decisions made in the next 24 to 48 hours could have cascading effects throughout the political landscape. White House legal teams are reportedly working at maximum capacity, coordinating with outside counsel to assess potential responses. Contingency plans include both legal maneuvers and public messaging strategy, ensuring that officials remain prepared regardless of how courts interpret or react to the filing. Sources indicate that coordination is occurring in real time, with rapid updates communicated across departments to maintain situational awareness. Analysts highlight that the filing's potential consequences extend beyond immediate legal outcomes. It could alter political dynamics, shift power structures, and force strategic pivots by both Trump's team and the administration. Observers warn that missteps by either side could escalate tension and unpredictably influence public opinion. The combination of legal complexity, political stakes, and timing pressure creates an environment of unprecedented sensitivity. Experts also note that the filing's content is particularly sophisticated. Certain clauses challenge precedent, invoke rarely used procedural mechanisms, and establish conditions that may force judicial reconsideration. This creates multiple layers of pressure. The courts must interpret nuanced language, political actors must respond strategically, and the public narrative is shaped simultaneously by fragmented reporting. Each element reinforces the overall tension and urgency. Media analysts are paying close attention to the filing's ripple effects. Social media discussions, pundit analysis, and early leaks are shaping public perception even before formal statements are issued. Experts caution that initial interpretations will likely evolve as more information becomes available, but first impressions are critical, influencing both public sentiment and strategic responses. Political operatives emphasize that the filing's timing, coupled with ongoing national events, maximizes attention and influence. By intersecting with legislative discussions, policy debates, and media coverage, the filing ensures that it cannot be ignored. Strategists note that this kind of calculated timing is designed to generate leverage while keeping opponents off balance, highlighting the sophisticated planning behind the move. White House sources indicate that communication strategy is a top priority. Officials are balancing transparency, control, and message clarity, attempting to manage narrative without revealing internal deliberations. Every public statement is being carefully reviewed for legal and political implications, reflecting the high stakes involved. In addition, the filing's potential influence on upcoming elections cannot be underestimated. Political strategists are analyzing how the development could shift voter perception, realign party messaging, and influence campaign strategy. Even subtle changes in narrative or public sentiment could have significant downstream effects, which is why all eyes remain on both Trump's team and the White House response. Experts also note that the speed at which the filing unfolded demonstrates strategic acumen. Rapid execution and precise timing indicate a calculated effort to force simultaneous reactions across multiple fronts. Legal, political, and media actors are all being tested, creating an environment where early decisions carry disproportionate weight. Finally, this filing represents a critical intersection of law, politics, and public perception. While the technical details are being dissected by experts, the broader significance is clear. Trump's legal team has executed a move that forces immediate attention, compels strategic reaction, and has the potential to shape the political and legal landscape in ways that may unfold over days, weeks, or even months. The next 24 hours will be pivotal. The White House's response strategy, media interpretation, and public reaction will all converge to define how this legal twist impacts the national narrative. For viewers, this is more than a legal story. It is a moment that illustrates how law, strategy, and politics collide in real time and why every action matters in shaping outcomes. In short, the legal twist is no ordinary filing. It is a calculated maneuver with immediate and potentially long-term consequences. Monitoring developments closely will reveal how Trump's team and the administration navigate this unprecedented situation, and how the unfolding events will ripple through Washington and beyond.